Hey, welcome to the official YouTube channel of the Innovation Lab Department at Harmony Public Schools. Today we'll be doing an overview of a Microbit-inspired project called the Ticklebot, created and developed by none other than Jasmine Florentine, a local STEM project enthusiast and developer. This is a great project for elementary and middle school students, as it doesn't require any advanced production. No 3D printers, no laser cutters, no craziness. What you'll need is a template, which can be downloaded directly from Jasmine's website and will be linked in the description box below. And you'll actually need some Microbit electronics on hand, such as these alligator clips, servo motor. You'll actually need a glue stick and the Microbit itself. Another thing we did here at the lab was modify this project to work with a cutting machine such as the one we have here. This is the Cricut Maker 3. It's absolutely not necessary, but it makes for a more clean and efficient build. All the files pertaining to this project will also be linked in the description box below. Now let's get to the project.
So once we have everything cut, we're going to move on to folding everything and gluing everything together. And essentially what we're creating is a box with a flap that opens. So I'm just going to speed through everything. I have everything in more detail in a separate video on this channel. It's a much longer video showing everything. So as you can see here, we have the box with the cutouts, and then there's a flap on the back that opens so you can access the internals. And now we're going to move on to the servos. So that other flap of paper is going to fold around the servos and hold them in place with some glue. And the servo heads need to be sticking out of the cutouts that we have on the robot. And then with the flap closed, the wires are routed out to the back through the wire management holes that we had in the cutouts. And now we're going to put on the legs, glue them on, put the servo arms on the side, and get the arms on. So for the wiring, if you have one servo or two, it's going to look a little different, but I've put both diagrams here. One is simpler and two is a lot more complicated. Now we're going to look at the code for this project, and it's going to look a bit different depending on which Microbit you have. We're going to look at the version 2, but if you have version 1, I'll put the code in the description so you can grab it from there as well. So with the version 2, we're going to start off with a touch sensor command, which basically means that on the version 2 of Microbit, the logo over here is also a touch sensor. So we're going to change this pin 0 to logo, and we're going to make it a touch mode capacitive. Then we're going to go and we're going to put a servo command in here, and we're going to set the servo on pin 1, make it 90, and then we're going to set the servo on pin 2 if you're using two servos. Then we're going to set that to 90 as well. Now in the forever, we're going to start off with a while loop. So in the while loop, we're going to say while the logo is pressed, so when you touch the logo, we want the servo to move. Both servos are going to move. We're going to make both servos on pin 1 and pin 2 go to 180 and also 180. And then we're going to put a pause in there. So we're going to have it pause for whatever amount of time. I like to go for 200 milliseconds. And then we're going to copy and paste this code in here for pin 1 and pin 2. And it's going to go back to 90. Back to 90. And then we're going to copy and paste the pause at the bottom right here. So this is the code for the version 2 Microbit with two servos. If you only have one servo, just delete everything that has a pin 2 on it. Just worry about the one pin. So after you upload your code to the Microbit, this is what you should be left with. Essentially, it's just a robot that when you touch the foot, it starts to wiggle its hands, which is where it gets its name, Ticklebot.